Did Patrick Mahomes just admit that the Patriots held them down? I'm pretty sure those were the words he used and that he said. All right, Brandon, I want to start with you. Were you a little bit surprised that the Chiefs struggled a bit against a Cam Newton-less Patriots team last night?
Yep. I was, but I shouldn't have. Last week I talked about how this was going to come down to Bill Belichick versus Andy Reid, and I kind of went through the last four games. But when you look at last year, Week 14, and this defense holding the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid to 23 points, I knew they had a chance. Bill Belichick figured something out in that last matchup. He played a lot of zone. He had answers for everything they did in the run game, in the screen game, and the deep balls down the field. But I was shocked and surprised that they were in this game because they didn't have Cam Newton. When you look at Brian Hoyer last night, and this is maybe the first time I've ever said this, and being around the professional league for, 14, 15 years now, I think this is his fault. Because why do we have you? You are a veteran quarterback, and we bring you in for this very reason, to hold the team together. You're supposed to be smart. Right. And at the end of the half, you didn't even know you didn't have a timeout. You can't do that. You have 3 points waiting for you. And then in the third quarter, you have another opportunity to put points on the board, and you get strip sacked. Now, it's not like Dak Prescott against against Garrett last week, this past weekend, where, he didn't see him coming in and it was a strip sack fumble. He let you know he was there. He tapped you on the shoulder, said, buddy, have a sense of urgency. I'm coming. And he didn't make any moves. Like, think about that. And to me, that is the reason why he was benched and his team lost. Because that drive, he looked amazing. He made some great throws. He was spinning it well, made some key decisions, and then he does that. And that's why he was benched. Bill Belichick's teams aren't known to be the most talented. What they're known for is to be the smartest. And Wilds, I don't know how you saw it, man, but I'm sorry, man. That's all I can say. I know you're a Patriots fan. I am sorry, because if you guys had Cam Newton, this would be a different ball. It would have been a different ball game.
Well, look, Brandon, I am not accepting your apology, but as a Patriots fan, the game was a little hard to watch. There were balls bouncing off the grass. There were balls thrown into the stands. There was basically three INTs that didn't go down as INTs, but we know they should have been INTs. And even some of the completed passes were these little,
No, there were three INTs. Wilds, Wilds, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Hold on, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Brian Hoyer didn't play great either. No, Brian Hoyer didn't play great either, Nick. And Jarrett Stidham didn't play great either. So, it was a rough watch. It was a rough watch for me. And I think without a doubt, we had a 4-turnover game. Hasn't happened in 2,800 days. And I think, Nick, and I want you to accept this, and it takes a lot out of me, Jenna, because I've been on this Patriots dynasty train for a long time. I think without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, that the Chiefs proved last night that they can beat the Patriots JV team.
Don't do it. No.
And you guys can do it. You guys can beat our JV team. You come out of there with a win. It's fantastic. And you know what? Cam Newton, all-world MVP, maybe comeback player of the year, maybe MVP this year. We don't know. We just saw it proved his worth. Could he have mustered up 19 points? Probably. But we'll save that for the playoffs. But you guys deserve it. You got the big JV win over us. Congratulations. We'll see you in the playoffs.
I love the first 5 minutes of this show so much. You know why? Because it, more so than even the Super Bowl win, it cements this as fact. The Chiefs are so much better than the whole AFC that we are now downgrading them for double-digit victories. They are in the tier that the Patriots once upon a time were, where it's like, well, if we just hadn't turned the ball over a half dozen times, and if those calls didn't go against us, and if our quarterback didn't screw up, maybe we could have kept it close. I want to give the Patriots credit here. This was as close of a game as I've seen where one team never led and where it was never tied after 0-0. So in those contexts, yeah, it's a pretty close game, considering the Chiefs led the whole way and the Patriots never even tied it. But I also think you guys are missing the forest for the trees here, because we know the Chiefs' offense can be great, even if it wasn't yesterday. The story through 4 weeks is the Kansas City Chiefs' defense, the number 2 scoring defense in the NFL, the Chiefs. Okay. The number 3 pass defense in the NFL, the Chiefs. A top 5 turnover differential defense, or forced turnover defense, is the Chiefs. So listen, if you believe the Chiefs would have had the same offensive game plan if they'd been going against Cam Newton, that's fine. I think it's pretty clear the Chiefs have decided this year if they are playing an overmatched opponent, they're going to be extra conservative offensively. It almost bit them against the Chargers. Last night's game was never in doubt. And then against the Texans and the Ravens, they've opened things up and they've dominated them. But the story is the Chiefs' defense. But I do want to congratulate Wild's team. They almost covered the 12-point spread. So I guess that's a bit of a moral victory. They only lost by 16 points last night. They never tied the game. They never led the game. But I guess we can say they played well. I suppose we can do that, Brandon.
Stidham. So the story is about their defense against Brian Hoyer and Stidham? Are you kidding me right now? You know it. Come on, Nick. Come on. I think everyone knows by now where you're from.
How did the defense look against Lamar Jackson? How did the defense look against Lamar Jackson? I forgot that game. That was a whole Monday ago.
They're playing complementary football. They're playing complementary football. It has nothing. It has more to do with Coach Spags. Coach Spags is doing a great job. Traditionally, he's thrown everybody in the kitchen sink at the offense. Yeah, 100%. No, you have a point there. They are playing better, but we're not talking about Coach Spags. What Coach Spags has done this year is simplify everything he's doing because he has Mahomes on the other side, because he knows that's how they win. They don't win because of defense. They win because of Mahomes. Don't try to change the subject because your offense isn't looking great. You just said something, well, they can be great. Well, are they great or are they not great, Nick? Because last night they were not great. And it has nothing to do really about them being up and down week to week. It's about Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick just gave the entire NFL the blueprint of how to stop or slow down Mahomes and Andy Reid.
Real quick. They're not okay. I'll believe real quick, Jenna. I'll believe that there's a blueprint out there. I hear this every time. Oh, there's a blueprint. There's a blueprint. The Chiefs haven't lost since November, so I'll believe it when someone actually executes the blueprint. But Wilds, the next time the Chiefs and Patriots play, sometime next season, because it ain't gonna happen in the playoffs, then maybe we'll see if they can execute it then, Jenna.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.